Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here. Wanted to talk about my thoughts on I already forgot the freaking name, but the Marvel Avengers. That's why I wore this shirt. The Marvel Avengers Beta. If you guys are interested, you can check out my gaming channel, which is where I actually have the episodes uploaded. It's my 420 gaming channel, so I'm high every time I'm on there. But every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I don't know why I started with Wednesday, but every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have 2 uploads, so you get 2 videos each of those days. So 420, 3 times a week. So definitely check that out if you guys are interested. Also, I will be streaming starting next week, Wednesdays and Fridays. Since I'm off next week, I'll probably be streaming like crazy just to finally start doing it. I've been doing all my pre-production stuff, trying to figure out freaking everything. I still have to figure out the night bot thing. I have to figure that out and a few other things. But I've been trying to make alerts, custom alerts, and make my own overlay. And I've been trying to make everything myself and do it so I have my specific design and my vision for it. So it's taking me a minute, a lot of research. I also need some more equipment and better equipment. So join me there as I try to build up on this really random journey. But join me there. It won't be 420 all the time on my Twitch channel because that would be insane. But sometimes there'll be 420 streams. For the most part, my main focus on there is video game photography, which leads right back to Marvel's Avengers. As I was playing the beta, I was enjoying it, and then I found out the game has a photo mode. And I was like, crap, I'm probably going to have to buy this game now because they're going to have a bunch of different Marvel characters and I can take a bunch of different pictures of them. So, excuse me, aside from photo mode, the game's still good, but photo mode got me. I was like, dang, I might have to pick it up just because of that. So, we'll see. It still probably won't be day one, but the game really got me. The beta actually did a good job. I knew with this game, it's the weirdest story for any game. It's weird piece of lint. I was hoping it wasn't a spider. I was like, oh, that's not a tiny spider. Fortunately, it was just lint. The game has such a weird story with me because going through, and I think I talked about this when the Spider-Man thing first came up. I didn't care about this game. When it first got announced, I was like, okay, it seems fine. And then as time went on, it just continued to seem all right because all the footage we ever got was that stupid Golden Gate Bridge thing forever, for a straight year. That was all the footage we had. They would talk about stuff, we never saw anything, and then finally the war tables came up, and I was like, okay, things are starting to look better. Still not great, but they're starting to look alright. It looked like it would be alright, it's boring to watch. I can say that for sure. The game is not fun to watch. It's just one of those types of games where it's meh. It's meh to watch it, except for very specifically probably Thor. And who knows, with other characters in the future. But for now, Thor is the only character that I would want to see get played by other people because the visuals for him are way better than anyone else. Kamala Khan, it's okay because, she stretches and it does look kind of cool. Iron Man is just kind of boring for me. We've seen it so much in the movies and the cartoons. It's yeah, he shoots repulsor beams and you can switch to lasers and rockets and it can be a little different, but the Hulkbuster, that's cool. Yeah, I would love to see that. But for the most part, the characters just do what we've seen a million times over. And Thor is the only one that's really different because he has the lightning, depending on the move, the lightning will literally be pouring off of him. And it just looks, visually, it looks great. Play-wise, though, a bunch of the characters are fun. For me personally, I think my favorite probably was Thor. I'd have to restart the whole beta just to do my one little playthrough with him again. But I like playing as Kamala Khan. I thought she was really cool to play as. Although I heard some people hate playing as her, which I thought was really interesting. But I like playing as her. Hulk, I was really happy with because it made me feel like I was playing Hulk Ultimate Destruction. Just the way they did it. I said this in my Let's Play when I was doing it. The main thing that gets me with the Hulk is the charge up for the moves. He'll do when he's doing the big slam, he'll do it and he'll move in slow motion and it's just enough time where it feels powerful. You're charging up and then he slams down and I was like, that's Hulk Ultimate Destruction. That's what that game was all about. You're about to do a move and he freezes in midair as he's loading up more power and then he slams down and he does that move and it's exactly, it's almost verbatim Hulk Ultimate Destruction in this game, or at least in the beta. I think he even had the elbow drop move. I think that's specifically from Ultimate Destruction. And I mean, his moves are always the same, so I shouldn't say it's from Hulk. It's from anything the Hulk has ever done ever. He slams down and then he does an elbow drop when he jumps. So I shouldn't say it's from Hulk Ultimate Destruction. But that mechanic of seeing it kind of freeze in place where he's doing the motion, but it's he's doing it in slow motion, that was great. Just playing that, I was it instantaneously. I was Hulk Ultimate Destruction. That's what it felt like using the Hulk in this game. And I hope, and I said this as well when I was playing it, I hope they give us, at some point, the move where he can, slam the cars on his fist, because I think that was made in Hulk Ultimate Destruction, and they did that for they put in like the Hulk movie because it was so good when they did in the game, and I think they put it in the game version of the Incredible Hulk movie as well, which was a pseudo Hulk Ultimate Destruction type of video game, and that's why people at least kind of like that one. It wasn't done as well, but that's kind of why people like that game too. So I love playing as the Hulk. Kamala Khan I think is pretty fun to play as. I like her stretching abilities. Like visually it looks cool, and it's fun to play with her as well. Like her combos are good. Iron Man was my least favorite personally. He flies around and he shoots, and it's definitely better once you upgrade, because when you first start off, his powers are so boring. It's literally just the regular repulsion beam. So it's like, okay, yeah, I can shoot, and that's it. It's just super boring to me. And the lasers are cooler. Excuse me. The lasers are cooler, and then I haven't gotten to test out the rockets, so I might play a little more just to like unlock the rockets for myself, just to see what they really look like. But it's just like meh. It's really meh for me. The Hulkbuster is like my favorite thing with this character. Other than that, it's cool to fly as him. Like the flight mode is entertaining. Like just the visuals for that as well. The way he uses the repulsor beam, like the kind of the vibration, they kind of captured that from the movies very well. So I thought that was good too. Black Widow's fun. Her special is actually amazing. She probably has my favorite actual special that I've used in the game, solely based on the fact that she like combines her tonfas into like a crazy red lightning staff, and it's just so ridiculous and over the top. I was like, I just kind of like it because it's so crazy. So I like that. I like her moves. Her little zipline move is pretty sweet. She seems to have the easiest takedowns. Like I feel like with all the other characters I get takedowns, but I feel like I got them with her way more frequently, and maybe that's specifically the point of her character. She has like a higher chance, like just the way they do it, it's easier to get takedowns with her. But I thought that was interesting. Like I just, maybe it was just because I was playing and I was better at it as I was kind of playing around with her, so that could have been it. But it just seemed interesting. I was like, I feel like I get way more takedowns with her character specifically compared to everyone else that I got to play as. But it was definitely entertaining. Thor, of course, was super fun. Captain America was fun as well. I would like to play as both of them a lot more for sure, because Captain America, I really want to test out the shield throwing more, because the segment we had it in, I feel like I flew through those people so fast, I just like destroyed them, so I barely got to really experience that. But I enjoyed it. I definitely like what we got to see with that. And like I said, just the characters in general, I thought everyone was fun to play as. I'm most excited about the story. That was always my number one thing with this game, was let's see what the story does. Let's see, what we're going to end up getting from this. So it seems like it'll be cool. We'll see what happens with Cap. I'm sure he's not dead. He'll be, frozen again or something crazy. AIM probably has him. But the game probably doing me. The freaking beta. I heard that pre-order sales like went through the roof after this beta came out, and people got to like actually get their hands on it and play it. And I can totally see why. Like with what they're doing, it already feels fun to play. And I'm like, all right, it feels fun to play. The story is, it seems interesting. At the very least, the story seems like it'll be pretty cool. Like the Avengers are disbanded, and they have to like come back together and stop AIM. Like that's actually a really cool story in concept. And it seems like the way that they're playing it, like what little we actually get to see from this beta story-wise, it seems like they're playing it really well. It has that, sort of AAA style as far as storytelling. It's the, Uncharted, Last of Us sort of deal, where it's an adventure sort of story game, Gears of War style a little bit, just not really a shooter, more of a beat 'em up style. So it's like it's a serious story that we get to experience, but there's also a bunch of missions to pick, and then there's the big map, the war room table. And that, of course, is like the main thing that comes into play, where it's like, how much fun is this really going to be after 20 plus hours, So that's where the main issue kind of comes in. And I've heard that there's still more stuff that we can actually unlock for our characters as far as skills and this and that. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's fun to play. They're going to be giving us free characters, not counting Spider-Man, unfortunately, for anyone who doesn't have it on PS4. But we're going to get free characters. There have been a buttload of leaks. If you haven't seen them, they've talked about Black Panther, some of the costumes even, I think, for Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, I think Scarlet Witch. Like, they're, based on what people have data mined from the PC beta, we're getting a lot of people. And it's already fun to play with the couple of people they have. And then it's just like, all right, how different is everyone going to feel? What are the specials going to be? The way the combat works for the characters even now is really cool. Like the little R2 thing being like your special moves. For some people, is different than others. But like Hulk and Kamala Khan, you can implement it into your combos to give like that final hit an extra boost if you don't have, if you can't hold the meter down because it's already low. You just do a regular combo and then you like embiggen for Kamala Khan in like the last second, and your last hit will do more damage. Or if it's with Hulk, you'll get like a little bit of boost in the armor and stuff in that final hit, and that's a cool element. So I was like, all right, how do you implement that stuff into the other characters? If they put Ant-Man in here, which we've seen Hank Pym. I think that was in like the very first trailer, or maybe it was the second one. They kind of announced like, oh, here's Hank Pym. So if he's in there as a playable character, we'll have to wait and see. But that could be his thing, where he could go Giant Man. Like it might not even be Ant-Man. So you might be able to switch even. Like if they have it with Iron Man, where you do left and right for lasers and rockets and repulsors. It could be left and right for Ant-Man, and it could be you could go small if if it's left, you hit the right trigger, you go small when you do your move, or if you hit right, you'll go giant. So they could totally implement that where he gets both sides of it. You just switch which one you're about to pull off. So that could work. They're talking about Black Panther's going to be in it. Like there's so many characters, and it seems like you can even change their main special, which I believe you can, because I think I've seen Thor with 2 different specials, if I'm not mistaken. I know he gets like the Bifrost Bridge, and I think he has another one. That was the only one that I saw, but I feel like based on some of the menu stuff, they like show your character. They show like your 3 specials, and I'm like, it's weird that they show those 3 specials up there. Like this is what you have currently, because there's no reason to show that if you can't change it. But they have like each one has a specific image and stuff, and I'm like, I think you can change even your 3 specials. Like you can change what your ultimate special is, you can change your R1 special and your L1 special, and so, or I guess it's L2 and R2 special, whatever the buttons are. It seems like you can change those based on just some of the menu stuff, where like you go through and pick your character in the mission select screen. As you're like waiting for the ticker to go down, they show your 3 moves at the top, and I'm like, that looks like you can change it. Like why show me what my specials are unless I can change them? Because if you have one character with one special, that's just a waste of space. It's like, well, I don't need to see the image of my specials because those are the only ones I have. But when they show those images, it makes me think we can change those specials. So who knows how many of those we're gonna get? Because right now it's just like, oh, Hulk's ultimate thing is he does the giant sound clap, but it could be different. He might have another one where it could be a scream or something. That wouldn't really make much sense. He can scream loud, but not like that. But it's just interesting to see like what could that possibly be, and if it doesn't change, well then it's super weird because it's like, why show me my specials? Like I said, it's if I only have one special, I don't need to see the random image when I'm selecting the character. But maybe it's there just for visual representation, just to be like, oh, make sure I don't know, just another little thing to make sure you're on the right character, I guess. But I feel like they show those there because you can change your main special. So we'll see what happens with that. But ultimately, I had to do this video because I think I'm kind of done with the beta. Yesterday I was playing like crazy just because of the photo mode. I was getting pictures of everybody except for Hulk. Hulk is kind of boring to take pictures of. Like there's nothing to get off of him, which is weird. You'd think it would be cool, like it's the Hulk, but there's really nothing to get with Hulk. Like even when he does his special, when you freeze it, it doesn't look cool. Like and his face is just like that's what his face looks like. If you play the beta and do like his clap move and you go on the photo mode, it's just like that's what his face looks like. Like everything looks cool. Like characters are blowing back and stuff, and the wave is shooting out, and his face is just like he's just frozen in place. And I'm like, I can't take a picture of you, man. Like you look boring. It's just funny. But it was really fun to play and adjust with the photo mode. I hope the photo mode also gets updated. I know that technically this isn't the same company, but it's still the Marvel Avengers. So I'm hoping that they can just be like, well, Marvel Spider-Man would just take that photo mode and put a bunch of that stuff into this. But that was made by Insomniac. This is, of course, Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics. So I don't think they will be able to do that because it's totally, still totally different programming. But that still makes me wonder about Spider-Man when he comes in. Is he going to play like he did on PS4? Is he going to be very different? Of course, he's going to have specials as well. So there's just so many elements. Like, how are they going to design his character compared to the PS4 stuff? Lots of questions there. I do hope they update the photo mode though, because it definitely needs a lot more stuff. It's one of those photo modes. This probably doesn't matter to you guys, but for anyone who's interested in the video game photography stuff, unfortunately, it's one of those games where if you zoom in too close, the character disappears. But it has an insanely wide range on that sometimes, where I'll be like, I'll still seem like I'm over a foot away from the character, and I'll turn the camera a certain way. The whole character will disappear, and I'm like, I literally cannot take this picture because this very specific segment is like interacting with the code in a weird way, and it makes the character vanish. And I was like, that really blows because the characters disappear. Also, the camera does not go out far enough, specifically for Kamala Khan, because she can stretch, and I would love to be able to move the camera really far back. I don't think any game really moves as far back as what I would need for her character because her hands stretch out so far with certain moves. I don't think there's a game mode at all that I can think of where the camera will probably stretch out that far, but at least a little bit further because I feel like it just doesn't move far enough for any of the characters. So I feel like they need to change that. They need to add in like borders and stuff like that, like the filter stuff, where you can like do the widescreen, maybe even do like a old school picture and stuff like that. So definitely need some updates for that for sure. But you can still get some good stuff out of it. But it definitely needs a bit of upgrading, which I'm hoping that they do. Considering everything they're doing with this game, I would hope that they also kind of work a little bit on the photo mode. That would be really cool for that. But the beta was good. I actually enjoyed the beta. The main question is, will I love the story enough to really pick up this game at $60? It comes out next month. And it's like, all right, I officially realize I like playing the game. I like pretty much every character I enjoy in some way. Iron Man is literally the only person where I'm like, it was just okay playing as him. And I like just unlocked lasers the other day, and the lasers were definitely much cooler to use than just the repulsor ray. So we'll see how it all plays out, but I'm probably still gonna wait for a couple of reviews. I might even watch a let's play, like maybe the first hour or maybe even the first 2 hours, just so I can get a feel for like how well does the story progress. Will I feel like I have to do these side missions just so I can have fun during the main missions, and feel like I'm strong enough to even do it. And so that big question is, I think that's the main question of this whole game is like, with us knowing they're adding new characters for at the very least for a year, if we're going just up to Spider-Man, with us knowing that that's how that's playing out, they're gonna get specific like character missions and stuff, but is it gonna be good enough? Is like one new mission for whatever random character going to be enough? Are they going to put new dialogue in if you go back to old missions within the story campaign, stuff like that? So there's a lot of questions with that for sure, where it's like, which characters are going to be implemented into the main conflict of this story, and then what comes after? Like, if every character is released after you've beaten the main game, is it just another level with them? Like how many levels? So there's so many questions. Are they going to have more villains to put in? Is it just going to be the same random enemies, just aim or whatever, random soldier number 5? That's the big question. That is where the crux of this decision lies. Is what's after the end game, for the Marvel Avengers game. So that's the big question, but it's definitely looking better now. Getting my hands on it and playing the beta was definitely an improvement. It was very fun to play. So we'll see what happens with it. I would love to know your thoughts if you checked out the beta or if you've just been checking out footage on the beta. What your thoughts on it are, what characters you guys are looking forward to seeing in the game. Definitely look up some of those leaks. You might find out that there are quite a few people coming along. I haven't even watched it myself for all the characters because I don't care that much, admittedly. But I'm sure at some point I'll take the time. I hope we get Venom. I would love Venom to just be thrown in. So maybe not. Agent Venom, if they throw in Agent Venom, maybe I'll check those leaks. If I know Agent Venom is coming at some point, it might be automatic because Agent Venom has like it's just one of the sweetest looks ever, and I would love to see how they implement that character with it being the military version of Venom, and you get machine guns, but you also get Venom powers, and I'm just like, that would be good. That would be so fun to play. I'm sure it would be, but ultimately we just have to wait and see how this will end up turning out. But we'd love to know your thoughts on the game, thoughts on the beta, whether you've played it or just seen it. What do you guys think of the costumes as well? I feel like Iron Man's costumes suck. No lie. I feel like the only cool costume he has is literally that last costume. And it's the original Stan costume. He has like the Apogee costume, which looks interesting because it's bright blue and yellow. And he has like one other one that's like, it's almost like a gradient color effect. And it almost looks like it's like orange to red, like in flames a little bit. Or like the color reminds me specifically of flame. It's like black, orange, and reddish yellow. And it just fades into each other. Like the color fades as it goes down. So that one looked kind of cool. And then, like I said, the last two costumes. But everything else, I was like, where's the extremist armor? Like the old, like comic extremist, like that one always looked pretty cool, which he kind of has a little bit as his main outfit. But dude, Iron Man has costumes like Spider Man. Like people might not know that because most people probably only know Iron Man, mostly from the movies. But Iron Man has costumes just like Spider Man does. Like Spider Man has like all these different things, electro suit and this and that. Iron Man has all the same stuff. He's got a stealth suit. He has a space suit. He has a cold suit. Like Iron Man Armored Adventures. I would highly recommend that show. Sadly, it got canceled, but it's on Netflix, I believe. But he has a bunch of costumes in that show, and it's like, all right, well, we got to go to space. Oh, I'm finding this person. I'm finding that person. Like he has costumes across time, just like Spider Man does. Like they could throw in a million different things, and they threw in like a bunch of the same looking costumes. I'm like, this dude has like 8 trillion different options, and they put in like 4 ugly ones and like 3 cool ones, and that was it. To me, at least. I'm sure other people like them, but for me, I was just like, these costumes suck for him. Personally speaking, I thought his kind of sucked. I think Black Widow needs some more good ones too. I love her shield one where she has the blue shirt. That one looks cool. The jacket one is pretty sweet, and then the one where she has like different color hair is interesting. I don't know if I really like it, but I think it's interesting. And Hulk needs more costumes as well. Like obviously, Joe Fixit is the best one. Like his last one where he's in the suit and everything, best costume. Red Hulk might actually end up being in this game. I wouldn't be surprised. So they probably won't use that costume for his character, but Red Hulk might actually end up being in this. Abomination already is. That would be pretty cool if they just threw in like, here's Red Hulk. They probably won't. I feel I won't get into it, but I feel like there's some movie stuff. They won't be showing off Red Hulk anytime soon for mass audiences. I think they're gonna wait for that. That's just a theory that I have, but I feel like that might be the case. But I'm excited for it now. It was always just, we'll see what happens. I like Marvel, I love me some comics, but the game just looked meh. And then playing it, it's like, it still looks meh when you watch people play it. But getting your hands on it, doing the combos yourself, doing all the crazy teamwork, and just watching Hulk over there go buck wild. You watch Iron Man drop in, the Hulk Buster, and you're just running around, and it's like, well, I'm Kamala Khan. I'll just embiggen, like we're all just running around crazy. It's a really cool experience to actually have that. Like Hulk is killing people. He's tossing people left and right. Black Widow's like just destroying everybody with her stealth moves and stuff, making everybody invisible. Like the team boost dynamics are pretty cool sometimes. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Like when you're in it, it's actually really sick. And that's just with the 4 characters we even get to play as. Not to mention Thor and Captain America being the 2 that I was most excited for anyway. And I don't even really get to play as them too much. So there's a lot to look forward to with this game. But I'm still a little bit worried. I gotta have a good story. Like I have to have a good story, and it's just like we'll see what happens. So those are my thoughts on the beta. Like I said, I played it on my High Gaming channel, so you guys can definitely check it out there. See all my thoughts, see all the madness that I go through over there, and just the silliness that happens with that channel as a whole, and not just even in the Avengers stuff. So definitely check that out if you guys are interested. But I would love to know your thoughts on the beta, on the future of really Marvel games in general. Like where are we headed? Because Spider-Man was freaking phenomenal. We got Miles Morales coming out, and we have this coming out, which definitely different levels, because Spider-Man's like way up there, and Miles is probably going to be up there too. And this game is like kind of like right here, and those are way up in the stratosphere already. I haven't even played the Miles Morales, but it's probably in the stratosphere, and Marvel's Avengers is like right there. So we'll see if it goes higher, but we'd love to know your thoughts on it, so please put your comments down in the comment section below, and of course, thanks for watching.